Conditions of satisfaction. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what COS, or conditions of satisfaction, means, how you can identify the conditions of satisfaction, and what bearing it has on your project or your effort. So if you're into that, you've come to the right place. So conditions of satisfaction, or COS, is used quite frequently in construction with construction projects, in design, in IPD, integrated project delivery, and in the lean community at large. Its purpose is to establish step by step what conditions would make for a great project, what deliverables would be required for that, and to get input from everybody, or basically all the stakeholders, to achieve certain project goals. And so this is kind of like, I like to tell this story all the time. Well, actually it's not a story, it's kind of an analogy, but like I like to go to, I used to before I cut out ice cream. I used to like to go to Cold Stone all the time, and I would get butter pecan with sweet cream. This is a recipe for you if you want to know. If you like this recipe, like and subscribe. If you like chocolate chip or something, don't worry about liking this. I'm just kidding. Like butter pecan, sweet cream. Then you would do like 3 spoonfuls of chocolate shavings with caramel. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Or pralines and cream or something like that. Absolutely beautiful. If I went into Cold Stone and was like, I want my pralines and cream, and they on the other end spit out a chocolate ice cream and was like, you know, that'll be $5. I'm like, excuse me? Like, where's the pralines and cream? I'll give you the $5 and you give me the right ice cream. And they're like, no, what you need is chocolate. I can see that right now. You need chocolate. I'm like, I want pralines and cream. Like, you're killing me with this. So like, I would not give them the $5 if they didn't give me the ice cream I ordered. Second example, this is probably my favorite one. Let's say that I don't think I've shared this with you before. So if I went into a Ford dealership and I was like, hey, I want an F-350 with an off-road tires, 4-wheel drive. And literally the guy looked at me and was like, okay, you don't look off-road. Your arms aren't as big as they should be. You don't look like you get out much. We'll give you an F-150 street package, no add-ons, 2-wheel drive, and you're going to be fine. You can pick it up in the morning. I'm like, okay, hold on, time out. I ordered an F-350. I don't care if it stays parked in my garage the rest of my life and I never drive it. I want an F-350 4-wheel drive. What if the salesperson was like, yeah, but you don't need it, so no. Like, literally you would flip out and you'd be like, I'm going to a different dealership, or I'm going to start driving Chevys, like, or Dodges, or whatever. Like, you would be livid, fuming. The conditions of satisfaction for me was a Ford F-350 4-wheel drive with off-road package. That's what I wanted. It does not matter what that individual thinks. I ordered something, I want it. A lot of times our owners feel that same way with us. It's really difficult, and I mean this from a point of connection. I've worked as a general contractor most of my life, and when I started a business and now am a service provider, a consultant to general contractors, I can tell you that the worst people to work for are general contractors. It is an ever-loving nightmare. Like, I remember one contractor being so abusive and paying us after 9 months. We have got to get this figured out. So my point with that is, we've got to treat each other better. The owners feel like sometimes that when you're dealing with a general, just like the trades, like I said in that example, dealing with general contractors, the owners feel like, I've asked them for something, they keep being stubborn, they keep telling me what I need, they're not listening. Conditions of satisfaction fix all of this. They gather the stakeholders together to make sure that everybody understands what it is that defines the right deliverables, the right conditions, and the right goals for the project, gets everyone bought in and heads everyone in the same direction. Meaning it says, basically, these conditions, if we meet these conditions by the time we're done, the client will be satisfied. Conditions of satisfaction. So I'm going to take you through some steps for how to create this. If you like it or love it, please like and subscribe to this video. Comment if you want. Add anything that you think I might be missing. We need to get this out to the masses. Number 1, engage stakeholders. Stakeholders are your owner, your design team, your engineers, your end users, anybody with the facilities management, your trade partners, your vendors, your general contractor. Get with your stakeholders and get some early on input on what the conditions of satisfaction for that project will be and set them and write them down. Number 2, make sure you have definite project goals. And I would encourage you to not make it milquetoast like, oh, on time, on budget. No. Let's be very, very specific. You want to be on time within how much time? You want to be on budget within what percentage? And I would always encourage you to add things like, what are we going to measure from the raving fan status for the client? How are we going to measure the happiness of the team? How are we going to measure the safety on the project? Whether or not our trade partners were winning? Cost, quality, safety. Let's have a more holistic approach for this. But in your conditions of satisfaction, make sure that you're honing in on specific goals. 3, be very specific and use the SMART framework, I would say, or the model. SMART, S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, time-based. If you have a goal on your conditions of satisfaction that says be better, like it's a Key and Peele skit about Megan, like the do better skit, like it's not going to work. Like do better is not specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, or time-based. What do you want to do? Let's get specific about how you want to be better. Let's find out how to measure how you're going to be better. Let's make sure it's actionable. Let's make sure it's relevant. And by when? Turn that vague goal into a specific goal. 4, document it. I highly recommend putting this in a beautifully formatted guide, something that you can put up on the wall. Rally everyone behind. It can become stickers, screensavers, whatever you want, but make sure everybody understands this is what we're working towards. And finally, I would say find opportunities to check in and make sure that the team is constantly aligned and that you're heading in that direction. So those are the key steps. But let me tell you one thing. Your conditions of satisfaction can be for design, for construction, for all of it, for your integrated project delivery effort. It could be for a specific task. It could be for a specific cluster or scrum group. You could just say, what are the conditions of satisfaction for even something as small as a pull plan? The idea is, what would make this a success? And outline it and make sure everybody's clear and heading in that direction and measure it. So this can be implemented on the project-wide level, on a program-wide level, or it can be used for specific efforts or even something as small as a pull plan. The idea is that you're gathering input from everyone, that you are aligned, which, just for a quick sidebar, when you look at the 8 wastes, it's overproduction, excess inventory, defects, motion, transportation, overprocessing, waiting, not using the genius of the team from an engagement standpoint. So that's 8. And then the 9th waste is lack of alignment. The 9th waste is alignment, or a lack of alignment, or unhealthy conflict because of a lack of alignment. And so if you want to get rid of that 9th waste, make sure that you are aligned and heading in the right direction with your conditions of satisfaction. It's a great practice. I use it all the time. We are going to share this video throughout all of our new books, and I do want to recommend picking up a copy of Elevating Construction First Planners, which will be out soon, and it will tell you how you establish that early on in pre-construction. But this is a good overview. We're going to create a Canva graphic for you about conditions of satisfaction. Please check it out in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.